was outstanding, and the quality was there for everybody to see as well. 4 magnificent goals. And Wanderers showed a lot of character, came back from behind on 2 occasions. So the second half was set up. But both teams came out a little bit tentative. And for about 25, 30 minutes, it was like the boxer trading punches. They were having a look at each other all of a sudden. It was almost like both sides were a little bit fearful of getting over the winning line. But Wanderers showed that little bit of quality, having defended. I'm talking about quality in attack, but I'm also talking about quality in the mentality of defending properly. The big centre-half Santos made a couple of uncharacteristic errors and caused a couple of back-to-back corners, and then from that, the counter-attack was just outstanding. And for me, the man of the match was Marion Fossey on the right-hand side. Right full-back, right wing-back, right winger. You covered the whole length of the pitch on the right-hand side and provided that little bit of quality in the final minutes of the game to get the winning goal.
If you want to talk about Bolton's win or Wigan's win or United dropping points again, Rochdale having a 3-3, Oldham having a 3-3 draw despite being down to 10 men, Salford winning, whatever you want, give us a call right now. 0800 218 2255 is the number you need to speak to Scott Brown. In fact, let's go straight to the phones now. Scott is a Bolton fan who joins us now on BBC Radio Manchester. Scott, you're through to Phil Brown. What do you want to say tonight?
Hi, Bill. Fantastic win. Another fantastic 3 points on the road. Only 8 points out of the playoffs. There's no reason why we can't do it again this year like we did last year.
Scott, I think the last 6-7 games, when you're talking about 19-point return from 21 points available, it's hats off to the manager, it's hats off to the management team for bringing in 6 or 7 players in January, and the impetus that Wanderers have got, they've got the motion going forward, as it were, both on the field of play and off the field. Everybody will be fearing playing against Bolton Wanderers because of the form they're in.
Scott,
again, we just seem to be a fortress at home again. We're just so good. We're so more organised towards the back end of the season than what we were in the first half of the season.
Well, I was going to ask you that, Scott, because I mentioned it to Jack Dean right after full time, but there is a similarity, isn't there, to last season when Bolton had a bit of a wobble before January, brought in a few recruits and had a stonking second half of the season. And I don't want to speak too soon, but this campaign is looking like it could follow a very similar pattern.
Yeah, we just enjoy giving everyone an head start, really, don't we? It just seems something that Ian Everett's really good at. He did it at Barrow, and he's doing it now again with us for the second year running. So long may it continue.
What do they say, Phil Brown? Do they say that in manager circles? It's better to finish a season well than start a season well.
Oh, 100%. You can start a season well. If you don't finish it, you can forget about it. It's all about pressure then. You're talking about the last third of the season. There's still a lot of points to be played for, 16, 17 games to go. There's an awful lot of points to be played for. But you look at, characteristically, you look at how many points are going to get you in the playoffs, and it's probably going to be 73, 74 minimum. Well, Wanderers have got the form that's going to get more than that quite comfortably, but there's a lot of football to be played.
I'm just having a look at that table now. By the way, Scott is the Bolton caller, and Phil Brown is who he's speaking to. If I said you can speak to Scott Brown, I was just mixing up their names. You can speak to Phil Brown, and Scott is speaking to Phil Brown. Right?
We're related.
Yeah, you knew what I meant. Anyway, I'm just looking at the table now, Scott and Phil. Bolton are now 10th. They're 8 points off the top 6, so the playoff places. Rotherham are obviously top. Wigan are second, but have games in hand. Then you've got MK Dons, Sunderland, Wycombe, Plymouth, and then just outside the playoffs now, Oxford, Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich, Bolton, and just below Bolton you've got Portsmouth in 11th. There is some big teams in this division these days, Phil.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I was looking at it beforehand, but I was also looking at how tight it was as well. Because I went to Cheltenham against Sunderland on Tuesday night. Sunderland's by my team as a supporter. So it was in the area, and I went to see them play, and I realised they were in free fall. So there's a team above you that are catchable. You're looking at Oxford. They could have won today. If they won, they could have gone into automatic promotion, let alone playoffs. Now they've been beaten. They're outside of the playoffs now. So there's a team that you can catch as well. But it's the form that won. I've got to keep emphasising the form that Wanderers are showing at this moment in time. If they can maintain that between now and the end of the season, they've got every right to get into the playoffs.
Scott, you're 10th, you're 8 points outside the playoffs, but you've got real momentum now. Where do you think Bolton will end up?
Anything from 2nd to 6th.
So definitely in the playoffs at least then, yeah?
Definitely in the playoffs, yeah.
And if you end up in the playoffs rather than automatic, how would that make you feel? Are you one of them that goes into the playoffs dreading it, or do you think because you'll be going in with the momentum. You'll be the team everyone is thinking, I don't want to play them.
If we carry on with this momentum, and that team from down the road that play in blue and white fall apart, which they could do with the games in hand, we beat them at Wembley to go up. That'd just be an absolute, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Well,
all the multi-millions they've spent, you know.
It'd be a big, big day for BBC Radio Manchester if we end up with Wigan against Bolton at Wembley, wouldn't it? Blimey.
It would indeed.
What about that, Phil? I was looking, because Wigan have got the games, they're second in the table at the minute. They've won today, big win for them against Charlton. They've got games in hand on everyone around them. At this stage, would you rather have points on the board or games in hand?
All day long, points on the board, without a shadow of a doubt. Because quite easily, you're getting 3 games in a week, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. You can hit a rich vein of form by almost every stretch of the imagination where you're looking forward to games. But you can also hit a vein of injuries and, suspensions, and everything plays its part towards the end of the season.